Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Joey, and I have a problem, not with that, but with the LG front-loading washing machine here. This washing machine came with the house, and several times it's been leaking water. The first time, we had an issue down there with a blocked drain, a door gasket. Now, most recently, we're noticing a little bit of water coming down on the floor. You can see it's already at the bottom of the machine there. I've also got it that it's been going on for a while, so clearly the previous owners might not have caught up with it. What's happening is we're noticing water coming out of this guy right here. Now let me tell you, by trade, I am not a washer machine technician. My parents had a laundromat and I was able to tear some of these apart, but far from what I do for a living. Before you get started on pulling this stuff apart to try and figure out what's going on, two things are important. One, secure power. Okay, I am cheap, so I always have my stuff plugged into one of these jokers, so I can just flip the switch, turn it off when it's not in use. Yeah. So secure power. Don't want to get shocked. It's only 120 volts, but 120 will kill you. Water valves. Shut these off. If you're messing around under here, Murphy has a way of showing himself when you don't want him to, and God forbid you were able to knock a hose off. Wouldn't want to accidentally flood your house. So that's that. While we're here and looking at it, if your hoses haven't been replaced in the last 5 years, good time to go ahead and replace them. These, if I'm reading that date code, I'm thinking that's a date code. That's probably 2007 or 2008 when this machine was purchased. Probably a good time to replace it. So, with that said, for the front-loading washing machines, to get this top off, you've got a bracket back here. 2 brackets. I believe that the person that had this before me, again, this came with the house, the person that had this before me had a similar issue because these screws here were already missing, and it's got a chip mark up front from where he tried to pry, he or she. So, yeah. With that said, remove just the bottom 2. That'll get you squared away, disconnecting the top. You're then just going to pull about 1 inch backwards. It's going to overcome some nylon pins. Alright, yeah, don't do that. So these guys, they just keep things held down. So once you've got that lid off, you'll see that there's really not much to a washing machine. It's a couple of solenoids, a couple of mixing valves, a couple of tubes. I've already diagnosed this issue. This bellows hose, right? We already know that water's coming out of here, so that's going to be the first place we look. You can see staining, which tells you that water is not staying inside the drum where it needs to. This bellows and my corroded solenoids, and again, this is why you're disconnecting your power, because water on top of these things, good conductor, don't want to get zapped. Probably wouldn't kill you, but you have a heart problem, whatever. This bellows is our problem child. I've tried videotaping this several ways. You really can't see it, but on the top here, where this bracket interacts with this clamp rather interacts with the bellows, there's a small hole in the top. And actually, hey, this time we can actually see it. So LG, this was a bad design. LG execs, if you're listening, I hope you've corrected it. When this moves around, it's able to contact that metal clamp, which then, of course, wears away at that and lets water get out where it shouldn't. Fix for this, of course, is to just replace that hose. That at least stops the leak temporarily, but until they update the full design, it's not going to fix it all the way. So what I would recommend, once you've got your new hose in place, it's available, I think it's like $6 or something on LG. I'll post up in the video whenever I find it. The new hose has a flat top section of these bellows, and it's intended to give just a little bit more clearance when the drum is rocking and rolling so that you don't have another issue. I've seen on another YouTube video that a fella had the same problem 2 years later. what I would probably recommend is if you have access to a plastic tub, like a yogurt tin or something like that, go ahead and just cut off a little plastic shield and zip tie it in place just underneath. That way, plastic has a fairly low coefficient of friction. It's obviously not going to damage this rubber nearly as much as this is. I'm not a big fan of cardboard because cardboard absorbs water, gets smells, that kind of deal. Doesn't last long, flammable, so on and so forth. Same. Metal conducts electricity and may actually accelerate the wear down here. So there you have it. Easy enough to do. Order the parts. There is this clamp on the other side. You access it from that side. You can take that clamp off with a pair of needle nose pliers. There's a special tool for it that we have in the automotive business, at least when I was in the automotive business. And you can rent one, buy them for $6. It's just radiator hose pliers. Good enough. And yeah, it should be about a 20-minute fix for you. So good luck. If you're taking a look at my corroded solenoid valves, please don't worry about these. I'm not really worried about it. I'm hoping to probably throw this out in the next couple of years, and if these fail, they're cheap enough. But there you go, guys. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them as best I can. Again, this is not my bread and butter, but I can figure it out. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope this helped a little bit.